thank you all for tuning in to the Black and Tired Showcase. This is a showcase centered around Black voices. As Black people, we bear the burden of having to grieve our people time and time again. We live with the daily struggle of trying to exist in a country that doesn't want us, and we are tired. So sit back and watch as we share our collective grief, anger, and joy.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, then something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Oh, a lovely day. Oh no. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
The poem is titled Black for a Day. I am not like a slam poet, so don't expect this to be performed perfectly. My black is in a hurry. It doesn't crawl or scurry. It's deep, like the ocean, but it moves fast. It has hills to climb and monsters to vanquish and trials to face. It has to pace itself at times. Like water, it runs down my body, adhering itself to my form as warm as the summer breeze. My black embraces me, innocent, clean. And then I go outside. Wide sets of eyes trace my body like markers. I think it's human but darker. They have sons and daughters. Let's examine more closely. Words I did not say, thoughts I did not think, paint my deep night ivory, revises my ocean into lakes. The narrative has changed. My black is no longer in a hurry. It's now lazy and slow, like honey. My black is not deep. It's light, like cotton candy, easy to hold, easy to consume. It does not climb hills and slay monsters, but it rather waits, lounges in the breaking of the dawn for the sun to come and save it. It's marked with foreign hands that tells it a story it doesn't own, gives it a prayer it doesn't want, and a destiny it didn't ask for. My black is sealed in a case. It reaches into my privates and asserts its place. My black has been raped. It doesn't feel safe. Cold water and cold words bind my wrists and grip my thighs, and my mouth is closed when I go inside. And as I bathe, my hands ache when I scrub it away. A clean body to lay. I've been black for a day. Perspective is crazy.
broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. When you can't fight the fighter, but I see it in you, so we go walk it out and move mountains. We go walk it out and move mountains. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like you're dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains, bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the waves. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope. And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Whoa. We'll rise. I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, higher like the waves. We'll rise up, we'll rise unafraid. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. Oh, we'll rise. Oh, we'll rise.
I can't breathe. This is not how it was supposed to be. How many more of my people have to get on their knees yelling, "Hands up, don't shoot me, please"? Tear gas, destruction, fires, and rage. It's really come to this. How long before we can all be on the same page? Systematically, this country was built by us, but not for us. Shot by shot, breath after breath. Please do not say another name. Us and animals have become one in the same. I sit heartbroken because I know God sees us, but the brokenness of the flesh continues to beat us. I'm sitting in my bubble, surrounded by the news. Reality sets in, heart stops, tears loose, stuck wondering what to do. I pray for justice, healing, and peace. Will there ever be a release? I want to be active. I want to share my voice. I want to share truth, be led by God, and not my feeling of choice. Where does the balance between all of this coincide? I'm overwhelmed. I want to shut it out, ball up in a corner and cry. My brothers and sisters, please don't keep your hurt inside. We're all in this together. Love awaits, and from God there is nowhere you can hide. I am proud of you, Black and brave, and those who stand with us despite the shame. Remember that God doesn't give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And with His grace, the justice we will find is not a mile away, but right on the other side. So to my Black brothers and sisters, keep your hands held high, and one day it'll be a symbol of victory instead of a police target sign.
I've seen so much pain from the choices that we have made. So much we would change. Can't help but wonder if it's too late. There's a truth that just might save us. Love is a language, it's stronger than hate. Love is forgiveness, it doesn't run away. Love needs no weapon, it is its own defense in the end. Love will always win in the end. Love will always win. I've seen so much war. Do we know what we're fighting for? And it's torn us apart. But the battle's within our hearts. There's a truth that just might save us. Love is a language, it's stronger than hate. Love is forgiveness, it doesn't run away. Love needs no weapon, it is its own defense in the end. Love will always win in the end. Love will always win. And if the tongues of angels with that love, we've got nothing, no. And if faith move mountains with that love, we've got nothing, no. And if tongues of angels with that love, we've got nothing, no. And if faith move mountains with that love, we've got nothing. 'Cause no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. I see us in the park, strolling the summer days of imaginings in my head, and words from a heart, told only to the wind, felt even without being said. I don't want to bore you with my trouble, but there's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. There's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. It knocks me off my feet. Thank you.
For all we know, we may never meet again. Before you go, make this moment sweet again. We won't say goodnight until the last minute. I'll hold out my hand, and my heart will be in it for all we know. This may only be a dream. Oh, we come and we go like the ripples of a stream. So love me tonight. Tomorrow was made for some. Tomorrow may never come. For all we know.
For all we know, we may never meet again. Before you go, make this moment sweet again. We won't say
Noir femme. I am a black woman. What does that mean? It means fear. It means always being seen as this first. It means walking down the street and needing to have eyes in the back of my head, needing to have ears wide open and hands always ready. It means having a heartbeat that pitter-pat-pat-pats faster and faster than more around people that I don't know, strangers, or people I can't trust. Because who can I trust? It means missing people. It means remembering little details like the color of a t-shirt or what pants someone was wearing, because in an instant, I might never see them again. The world's been unkind. It means having my hair in Senegalese twist, Bantu knots, braids, or an afro, and loving it. Because it is me. It is my culture. I have the right to wear it, and others can't see why they don't. It means being at a party and saying nigga to my nigga
and then looking across the room and hearing a white person say the same thing. It means watching history repeat itself over and over again in the streets, at a school, at your job, and sometimes even in your own home. It means discrimination, degradation, disrespect, microaggressions, deafening pain, and too much silence. It means crying for so long and so hard that tears become my new makeup. But it also means love. Love for the people that care. Love for the people that were always there. Love for the people that understand, and for the people that love me back, whether they're black or they're white. It means living in an age of television and movies where black people are seen as royalty, where we get to survive the horror movies, and where we get to educate people on our history and our culture. So I have hope. Because being black doesn't make you a weapon. It makes you a fighter. Because we are kings and we are queens. We are melanin. We are beautiful. We are royalty, and we deserve equality. So we will have it.
You didn't hear what I just said. You're mad because someone looted a city. I'm mad because America loots continents. I'm mad because I don't know where I come from in Africa. I'm mad because they stole my language. I'm mad because they ripped me of my culture. And I come to America and they love my rhythm while still giving me the blues.
Preach, Honesty, I can't sit and hope, and I can't sit and pray that I can find love when all I see is pain. Falling to my knees and now I do believe I can't just preach, baby, please. I can't just preach, baby, preach.
This is an open letter for Laquan McDonald. 16 shots, 17 years old. 17-year-old teenager Laquan McDonald was shot 16 times and killed by Chicago police officer Jason Van Dyke on October 20th, 2014. Now, the police report claims that Laquan McDonald charged at the officer with his pocket knife, causing Van Dyke to fire 16 times. That police report was quickly contradicted by the video that surfaced of Laquan McDonald walking away from the officer at the time of the murder. This police report was signed off by superintendents all over the city of Chicago, and the case was closed. Now, this is usually where the story ends, right? No fallout, no media coverage. The family gets paid off in order to not sue the city, no criminal charges. But 4 years after the murder of Laquan McDonald, Jason Van Dyke went on trial for murder in the first degree. Now, the following are some quotes from police officers, friends, and activists alike that were involved in the investigation. The first is a friend of Jason Van Dyke. The police officer decided to remain anonymous. It states, "I knew Van Dyke was going to have a problem. The narrative was clearly false. It didn't match the video. But when you have someone like a lieutenant handing you a piece of paper saying this is what your report is going to say, that's what becomes the truth. So you have seconds to just say yes, sir, and if I deviate from that and say no, you'll be without backup. Your fellow officers will consider you a rat. You won't be a team player. You will pay the price. Sorry, I can't risk my job to help you. You got yourself in this situation." Now, once the public got word of Laquan's case, riots hit the streets in the south and west neighborhoods of Chicago. In order to keep a lid on it, Mayor Rahm Emanuel decided to put all the preachers from black churches of the south and west side communities to meet at city council. This is what he said to the preachers. "If you don't help me keep a lid on all this, don't come downtown asking me for anything anymore if things ever go up in smoke." Now, the day before the video was actually released to the public, Mayor Rahm Emanuel unexpectedly stepped down as mayor of Chicago before Van Dyke's trial began. Now, Van Dyke himself had over 20 civilian complaints during his time in the police force, most of them including using excessive force and racial slurs, but he was never disciplined for any of them. And at the advice of his attorney, he never spoke on any of these accounts. This is what he said about the Laquan McDonald case. "Yeah, I think I was a great police officer. I always made efforts to treat everybody fairly and with respect, the way I wanted my own family to be treated. I've always been able to defuse the situation. I never had to shoot anyone before, and I'd always been proud of that." Now, when asked about the day of the shooting, he says he remembers feeling overwhelming amounts of everything, emotion, adrenaline, before he was quickly stopped by his lawyer, who interrupted and said, "Don't get into too much. Don't get into anything pre-shooting." Van Dyke continues to say, "I pray every day. Thank you for the questions." Now, I leave you with some words from Laquan McDonald's best friend, Christian Poole. "Corn Dog," that was his nickname, Corn Dog. He was actually Quan Dog, but we're in the ghetto, so we just make everybody's nicknames up. Corn Dog. Yeah, we always used to joke around a lot. When we were around Laquan, it was always about laughter. And I wanted to watch the video because I wanted to see everything myself. And then I remember Corn Dog and his regular little walk. That's the walk we used to make fun of. And what the fuck was going through y'all's minds? He wasn't going to hurt that man 16 times. No, he wasn't going to hurt that man. To see the smoke come out of Corn Dog's body, You took a young man out of his glow. And you ask when people are upset. This is why people are upset. The only thing worse than rebellion is the reason behind it. There are a lot of Laquan McDonald's in the city of Chicago. There are a lot of George Floyd's around the United States. It's time to educate ourselves a little bit.
Black man too sensitive, black man child, black man just shot another black man down, black man just complained about the white man power, black man cried in April just to sell the Mayflower, black man getting sentenced for life for selling some crack, black man I'm sorry but your daddy ain't coming back, black man got a beating cause he ain't know how to act, black man can be good if all he know is bad, black man you a royalty, use these haters as toiletry, get paper, yeah, get your education, more importantly it's haunting me, thoughts of never being who I want to be. Because of you, I know my truth. I see the light, I see it. I got my head held high like that flag that y'all worship. All lives matter, 3/5 of a person is what you said I'm worth in. I know one thing for certain, my people been through evil. So before I close the curtain, just know I can see the hate in your eyes. You put your lies in disguise. You never breaking the pride, breaking the stifle cycle. We gon' be alright in due time. And we just traded in them shackles for the handcuffs and the paddles. Why the fuck is it so radical for me to hold a Black Lives Matter sign?
The first time I realized I was black made me feel like my life was on the wrong track. 5 years old, walking through my grandpa's door, I never dreamt I would leave, feeling so sore. He stared into my eyes and questioned how his Irish blood flowed through my veins, how his legacy would be lived through a granddaughter he wouldn't even claim. I looked around and to my surprise, none of the faces on the walls looked anything like mine. He was ashamed. My sun-kissed skin, knotty curls, and full lips made him spew out hatred that he said just slipped. As I walked back to the car to my own discretion, I tried to hide the immense feeling of oppression. At the time, I didn't realize it wasn't me that he loathed, but the never-ending insecurity that lived within his own soul. And I, at the tender age of 5, skin as dark as brown sugar, began to contain a soul filled with much vigor. I had already grown accustomed to feeling deprived of my identity, exposed to unnecessary obscenity, and stripped of my eternal serenity.
Yeah.
The first time I realized I was black, I sat in a quiet classroom with my pink backpack. 6 years old, with the habit of doing what I was told, I believed everything. My teacher asked a question in search of a solution, and so I raised my hand to offer my contribution. She studied me silently with a sobering stare and proceeded to ignore my hand in the air. And it wasn't so much that she instead chose another, a girl with blonde hair and skin of a lighter color. It was the blatant disdain she displayed for my own hand so proudly raised. Then I knew everything. I went from invincible to invisible, from confident to confined, from an outspoken child to one who never spoke her mind. What I learned that day was to keep my hand down. How could I possibly know the answer? I was brown.
The first time I realized I was black, I sat in a red swivel chair with my head pressed back, with ivory hands running through my hair. And at first, I really didn't care, until I felt her stare. And I knew my hair looked like dark vines that could not be tamed, and I began to feel myself sink into the quicksand of shame. And each time her hand left my mane, I would look to make sure my blackness hadn't seeped from me and left her hand stained. And I always knew my hair didn't flow like running silk or glisten in the golden sun, but I didn't know my hair was where my blackness had begun. I didn't know I was black until I knew that my hair was too heavy for her to hold, until I wished my lion locks away and allowed her to be the hunter and me the prey.
You never realize you're black until you feel the weight of your skin.
until you remember how the whip breaks the wind.
Until you can hear the echoes of the unheard.
Until you acknowledge the men and women who built the White House on their black backs.
But our history transcends the waters we were forced upon.
We often forget we are not as tangled as our roots.
That we are more than what's portrayed in history books.
Your skin has never been a symbol of surrender, but a representation of strength.
Your hair has never been a mess of weeds. It's always been the bed of a crown.
Being black is not a thing to be ashamed of, even if the person who shames you is of your own blood. Never walk away defeated.
Never sink into your chair.
Never put your hands down, because each time you raise them, you defy the laws of gravity and bigotry.
And with your head,
your hair,
your hand held high, you raise your dignity.
You revitalize your community. So the next time you realize you're black,
don't think that there's something you lack.
Don't be defined by your absence,
but by your presence.
Let the booms and the bangs and the clicks and the clangs of the Congo's boisterous beats remind you that you are not a product of defeat.
That you did not come from a land of less than gold.
That the beauty of your brown skin makes you bold. And that your story is something that needs to be told.
Billion-year-old God.
I think America must see that riots do not develop out of thin air. Certain conditions continue to exist in our society, which must be condemned as vigorously as we condemn riots. In the final analysis, a riot is the language of the unheard. What is it that America has failed to hear? It has failed to hear that the plight of the Negro poor has worsened over the last few years. It has failed to hear that the promises of freedom and justice have not been met. And it has failed to hear that large segments of white society are more concerned about tranquility and the status quo than about justice, equality, and humanity.
You don't get freedom peacefully. Freedom is never safeguarded peacefully. Anyone who is depriving you of freedom isn't deserving of a peaceful approach by the ones who are being deprived of their freedom. And when black people in this country come out from under the mental straitjacket that the Negro clergymen have placed them in, and begin to see that the only way you can get freedom is to get it the same way the white man in this country got it from England, or he says he got it from England. He was willing to pay the price for freedom. When you're willing to pay the price for freedom, then you'll get it. But the Negro in this country has never been willing to pay the price for his freedom. All of the price that we've been paying in the past has been freedom for the white man. We fought abroad so that the white man in America could be free today to sick police dogs on us, to beat our people in the heads with police clubs, and to turn water hoses on little women and children and babies simply because they want to walk down the street like decent human beings. That's now the only way you can have peace is to eliminate those injustices, and the American white man is not going to eliminate them. He's going to talk that pretty talk, but he'll still continue to practice those inhuman deeds.
Those people who are in positions of power, I don't give a damn if they burn down Target. Because Target should be on the streets with us, calling for the justice that our people deserve. Talk about it, Tamika. Where was AutoZone at the time when Philando Castile was shot in a car, which is what they actually represent? Where were they? So if you are not coming to the people's defense, then don't challenge us when young people and other people who are frustrated and instigated by the people you pay. You are paying instigators to be among our people out there throwing rocks, breaking windows, and burning down buildings. And so young people are responding to that. They are enraged, and there's an easy way to stop it. Arrest the cops. Charge the cops. Charge all the cops. Not just some of them, not just here in Minneapolis. Charge them in every city across America where our people are being murdered. Charge them everywhere. That's the bottom line. Charge the cops. Do your job. Do what you say this country is supposed to be about, the land of the free for all. It has not been free for black people, and we are tired. Don't talk to us about looting. Y'all are the looters. America has looted black people. America looted the Native Americans when they first came here. So looting is what you do. We learned it from you. We learned violence from you. We learned violence from you. The violence was what we learned from you. So if you want us to do better, then damn it, you do better.